Where's Sarah?
I don't know. I haven't seen her all morning. She wasn't in the makeup room.
Should we start taping without her?
We're gonna have to.
The camera's rolling.
Hello, and welcome to this version of Video File. Where is she?
I think she's out. Driver's ed or something. Mark's right. We have a really good show for you this week. And,
I think Sarah's here. I'll be right back. Sarah, we're on.
Sorry, I'm late. I was driving.
Oh, you were? How'd you do?
We parallel parked today. I guess I did okay. We lost the back windshield and the rear bumper and a hubcap, but only one. And my teacher said he never has driven with anybody like me before. He couldn't wait to get back and tell everybody about it.
I'll bet. Well, Sarah, Tricia Goddard has our next report on driver's ed. Going to tell us how they run.
I don't think we have to do that. I mean, I know all about that driving stuff. Besides, Tricia Goddard is a freshman, and what can a freshman teach me?
Well, maybe you do know all that, Sarah, but maybe our viewers do need a little bit of information.
Now here's Tricia Goddard with our first segment.
Many of the classes offered at Dubuque Senior High School prepare students for life and society. Senior has an excellent driver's education program which does just that. Students can take a one-semester course as soon as they turn 15. Most of the classes consist of sophomores, but a mixture of freshmen, juniors, and a few seniors also take advantage of this essential course. No credits are given towards graduation, but the benefits from this course are numerous. We asked Mr. Arrington about some of the benefits students receive by taking the class here at school.
The primary benefit of taking driver education in high school today is that the students receive quality instruction in 3 areas. The 3 areas we deal with are driving behind the wheel, classroom phase, and simulator phase. In the long run, it will help insurance rates, especially after they get out on their own and buy their own car. Insurance companies will decrease insurance as much as 25% if they've had driver education. In a community like Dubuque, we have to unlearn the people that live south of town and west of town and east of town, the ones that have been driving since they've been 9 years old. They come in with some very bad habits, and we have to break those bad habits. Most students don't realize it, but as a passenger from age whatever, when they start to comprehend, they see moms and dads make critical mistakes, and they pick up those mistakes. Probably the worst mistake is steering with one hand. And the second mistake that is very hard to break because they've been doing it for so long is left foot braking. The difficult parts in learning to drive well is, in my opinion, to use your eyes well. I tell my students that if they can see things, they can't be surprised. If you're surprised behind the wheel, then you're probably going to have an accident. And we try to teach them not to be surprised. Total awareness, know what's going on around their car at all times.
In the classroom phase, the student gains knowledge needed to drive. This knowledge then transfers into the car so the student can make wise decisions when behind the wheel. Accidents are caused by drivers making bad decisions. The student in actual practice in the classroom uses a textbook for individual practice and then takes chapter quizzes, quarterly quizzes, final exam, and they must achieve a 70% score to pass the classroom phase. The problem the student has most often in class is relating what they've learned in the classroom to the actual behind the wheel performance. For example, they come into an intersection and the right-of-way laws they learned in classroom have to be applied, and sometimes they have difficulty making this transition. The best advice that I could give an experienced driver to help improve their driving is to be more patient with the other driver. Typically, most accidents are caused by people being in too big a hurry and they don't take the time to do the job right.
The next part of the course is a simulator. Senior students must complete 12 hours of simulated driving. The simulator room houses 17 car cockpits, all connected to a central computer. Senior shares the simulator room with Waller on a limited basis. We asked Mr. Hyde, also a full-time driver's ed teacher, about the purpose of the simulator phase.
Okay, the purpose of the simulator is strictly to simulate the real driving situation the best we can. And that means that we are simulating the controls. We're simulating for the student the actual procedural skills that we insist that they do out in the car, the driver education car. So we start out by working with students on, where the brake is, where the accelerator is, showing them how to shift, what they do when they first get in the car, those kinds of things. So it's strictly a simulation, as close to the real thing as we can have. Okay, if you look at the cars here, you'll notice that everything looks pretty much the same as a real car. We can teach them where to put their hands on the wheel, how to turn hand over hand, the correct turning procedures. We then can talk about the fact that we want them using the right foot on the brake so they don't freeze on the gas. We'll show them that they can start the car in certain positions like park and neutral and so on. So we can do all those things, especially with beginning students in here, without going out and risking our lives in the car first. So here again, it's the beginning procedural skills we want them to know. Okay. Then we have a film that we use here, projects on the wall that students watch driving scenes. And the nice thing about this is that we can show scenes on the wall like winter driving, night driving, things that they do not experience out in the driving world with we instructors. One of the big things I feel is not only night driving, winter driving, but also four-lane highway. We don't have one of our problems here in Dubuque, and so we can put it on the actual projector on the wall, and they drive to those situations. Then we have a computer that is all these cars. We have 18 cars in here, 18 units. We have a computer that we can check them on whether they're braking at the right time, whether they're braking hard enough, whether they're signaling the correct way, right or left, whether they're turning far enough. There are all kinds of checks that we can have here. The computer will register their mistakes. We then can go around to each student, each car, and help them correct their mistakes.
The final, but probably the most essential phase of the course is behind-the-wheel training. All students must complete 3 hours of hands-on driving in the presence of an instructor. Senior has 4 cars, 2 of which were brand new this year. Students are scheduled to drive before school, during free periods, or after school. The instructors have control over the cars with the aid of an extra brake installed on the floor of the passenger side. With each progressive drive, the students are exposed to a new and more complex driving surroundings. Driving with your instructor can be a very nervous and memorable event. We asked some students about their first time.
Well, the first time we went on a drive, everybody else got to drive around in the parking lot, and they made me go out on the street right away.
Well, the first time we went out, I already drove up before that, but he said that we could drive around town, and then after a while, it got to be my turn to drive, and I was really nervous because I only drove a couple times before that. And the drivers that were in the car, got me all shook up because they weren't driving too good either. And I was driving around. I was doing okay until we pulled in, in the driveway or over there in senior parking lot. I pulled in diagonally. It wasn't supposed to be that way, but I guess the car was parked there.
Well, one of the other guys hit a car going around a corner. Then he hit a curb. And then he had to stop driving.
Well, the first time, when I drove, the first time in driver's ed, I wasn't nervous because I had driven before with my parents a lot. The other people were real nervous and they made some mistakes.
Yeah, it was Mr. Hyde and these other girls that I know, and I was kind of nervous, and they kept making me laugh because they're good friends of mine, and I don't know, it was kind of funny, but it made me screw up because I knew them so well.
Yeah, I remember it really well. I was really nervous, and I thought with my luck I'd be one who'd end up in the snowbank, but it was a lot of fun, and I really enjoy it now.
Yes, I wasn't too nervous because I had done some driving on my own, but there was a little factor of nervousness, but the teacher was real cool about it, and he just said, "Don't worry, everything will be okay."